Hey guys, and welcome to this video on your North Node, planets, and astrology. This is the second video in my series on past lives. If you haven't seen the first video, feel free to go watch that now, especially if you have planets conjunct your South Node. But this video is for you if you have planets conjunct your North Node in astrology. The North Node is like our guidance to what our soul wanted to come here to learn. Therefore, it's usually outside of our comfort zone, and when we embody this energy, it helps us grow. When there is a planet conjunct the North Node, there's two main indicators. There's two main ways an astrologer will interpret this information. The first way is this is something that opposed you in a past life, namely a person. So if you're looking to really understand your past life story and how it applies to this life, then understanding who was against you in that past life can help you just kind of make sense of that. And the other signification of having a planet conjunct the North Node is that that planet is an energy that you can embody that kind of helps guide you in your purpose. However, it is not your purpose. And I want to clarify, I want to use an example so this is totally, clear, because let's say you have your North Node in Gemini. This is the sign of communication. Then you are here to communicate. That might be through teaching, through learning, through speaking or writing, using Gemini type qualities. Now, in a personal reading, we can go a lot further, and I do go a lot deeper in my videos on the North Nodes, so feel free to go check those out. But basically, when you have a planet there, it's usually not going to be the same energy. So someone with a North Node in Gemini, perhaps they would have Mercury, which is the planet of communication there. This just means they really need to communicate. But most people, their North Node and the planet that's conjunct are going to have different energies. So if you had your North Node in Gemini and Venus conjunct, this means you need to move toward Venus type things. You need to move toward a Venus and Gemini type activity. So that could actually be, if you are someone who dates women, maybe you end up falling in love with a woman who is a chatterbox or who has other Gemini type qualities, maybe a woman who's a writer or a teacher. This isn't the only way Venus energy can show up, but this is just one example. And for someone with that combination, they would also really need to embody that feminine energy in order to move toward their purpose. It's like a little helper, okay? So for people with these South Node conjunctions, in the last video I did on this, they don't have this luxury, okay? People with South Node conjunctions really have to watch how they use that planet that's conjunct the South Node to make sure they're not using it in a South Node way. Basically, they're not using it to further the activities of whatever sign their South Node lies in. So you can use your planet conjunct your North Node to further the activities of the sign your North Node is in. So let's say your North Node is in Pisces and you have Mercury conjunct the North Node. Well, then your North Node in Pisces means you're here to trust the universe. And Mercury is the sign of communication. So you might write poetry, or you might write about, universal law or mermaids or, something very Piscean. But your purpose isn't writing. Writing helps you further your purpose. So that being said, we're now going to go through each of the planets conjunct the North Node and what they mean. So the first one is the Sun. If you have the Sun conjunct your North Node in astrology, then that means an authority figure in a past life was against you. This could have been a father, or it could have been some other leader, a king, or even like someone with a lot of social clout, like an actor, someone who had an audience, and they would have, with this combination, done something against you. They could have, cast you out of their community. And, since it's a past life, this is probably more detrimental than being kicked out of someone's Facebook group. It was probably more life-changing, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be in your past life story. For some people, this could be like a father who pushed you into something you didn't want to do and robbed you of your sense of self. This could have been another authority figure who you trusted or followed, you know, really following someone, being their follower, being their servant, being their disciple, and being kind of led astray is the energy of this North Node combination. So what this means for you in this life, if you have the Sun conjunct your North Node, is you are here to really be like a Leo, right? Because the sign of Leo is ruled by the Sun. You're here to be the star of your own life. Sometimes with conjunctions to the nodes, these energies don't always come naturally. Sometimes we have fear because we have these past life patterns associated with them. But with the Sun conjunct the North Node, you're here to be the starring role in your own life. Really live your life for you. Be who you want to be. And in that energy, by shining, you know, shining your inner light and, you know, just being yourself, you can move toward your North Node more easily. If you have your moon in astrology conjunct the North Node, then in a past life you are opposed by a woman, probably your mother. So what does that mean? You probably either were over dependent upon your mother in a past life, or you didn't have a mother. Maybe there was an absence of some kind, like a death or a abandonment, or a mother who didn't accept you. Something very, very bad, you know, some kind of really strong challenge in a past life where you didn't get the nurturing you needed. And in this life, it's like it flips the switch where you have that energy now. You have the ability to nurture others. And in order to move toward your purpose, one of your gifts is to really embody that nurturing energy. This is true whether you're a man or a woman, okay? So if you're a man watching this, don't feel bad if you have placements in Cancer. Just because Cancer represents a mother, it doesn't mean you have to be feminine unless you are. In that case, that's totally okay. We are all inclusive on this channel. But the point is, just don't feel bad if it's like a masculine or feminine and you're a man or a woman and all that stuff, guys, because it's just the energy of supporting people's emotions, the energy of being there for someone. You can do that whether you're a man or a woman, you know, be there for someone. And really, Cancer energy, which is what the moon rules, is all about our emotional security, our home within our own selves. So having that moon conjunct your North Node means for you to move toward that and embody that energy in your life. That's a helper that guides you toward your purpose. And you could also use those qualities in your profession. So the next planet we have is Venus. If you have Venus conjunct your North Node, this means a woman opposed you in your past life, but it was not your mother, because Venus is the goddess energy. So for some people, it was like you were seduced in a past life. And this could technically have been by a man as well, but it's that goddess seductress energy that just lured you in that past life and probably made you do things, or you ended up doing things that weren't really right for you, or you would give up your own morals or standards to try to win over the love of someone. So this is like, it can be unrequited love where you maybe had a crush on someone who didn't love you back, but it could also be more like and just like you were in a love and you gave everything to that love, but because it's in the past life, this means it wasn't good. It wasn't good for you. It wasn't like, oh, you were in love and happy. So love that, like, I think of the Lady Gaga song Bad Romance for this, because it's like love that doesn't move you forward. We'll just put it that way. Love that takes you down in some way. And so in this life, it's like the energy flips and you have the ability to love. Now that doesn't mean that you have to infuse sexuality into your purpose, although for some it can. It's really more about, you know, when we think about Venus, we think about things that are harmonious and pleasant and lovely. So you have that harmonious, pleasant loveliness to you. Now that could show up in being social, having social graces, being able to almost like leverage your social connections and really connect with other people socially and make them feel good. You know, you just might have this way of bringing harmony, making people feel at ease. Another way this can show up with Venus is through beauty. And that can be your own physical beauty. It could be the beauty industry or beautifying things. So anything in life that you could make beautiful, whether it be a garden or art or makeup or anything in between, making things aesthetically more beautiful in one way or another is a potential strength that it's an energy that if you embody, either that beauty or that harmony, that if you embody that energy, then it can help move you toward your purpose, which again is the sign that your North Node is in. So the next planet we have is Mars. If you have Mars conjunct your North Node, you had a violent past life. And with Mars being on the North Node instead of the South Node, this really means that your past life, someone inflicted violence or aggression upon you. So you could have been bullied, you could have died in battle, you could have been murdered, you could have been a victim of a war, or, a victim of any other kind of murder, but it's likely that someone committed violence against you in your past life. So with Mars, what that means for you in this life is that you actually need a bit of challenge or risk in order to move toward your purpose. It helps you. So that energy helps you move toward your purpose, and you might actually need a challenge or an opponent in order to move forward. So if you find you have Mars near one of your nodes and you don't relate to that, try challenging yourself. You might find that you don't have motivation without a really good challenge in front of you. So the next planet we have is Mercury. If you have Mercury conjunct your North Node, in a past life, you were outshined by someone smarter than you, someone who knew more than you, or you could have been lied about or gossiped about, because Mercury does rule gossip. Someone communicated in a way that caused you harm. So someone gossiped about you behind your back or told everyone a lie about you and it wasn't true, and bad things happened. Okay, that's really what I feel. For some people, you were outshined by someone smarter, but most people, I feel, with Mercury conjunct the North Node, it's someone talked about you, someone spread rumors and gossip, and this caused huge problems. So this could even be for some people that, someone called you a witch when you weren't a witch and then you were burned at the stake. This would be like if you have Mercury and Mars conjunct the North Node, especially if your South Node is in like Scorpio. But in this life, with Mercury here, you are here to communicate. So the more you communicate, either through writing or through using your voice or doing other things that are very Mercury-like. So this can even be multitasking, helps you move toward your purpose. Getting into that energy of having something to say, or, working at a sales job, or doing two things, or having two jobs, and like going over here and going over there, and just always being busy or keeping your mind occupied. These are all energies that can help you move toward your North Node purpose. If you have Jupiter conjunct your North Node, that means in a past life you were opposed by a mentor or a teacher, someone who was supposed to be guiding you and helping you and teaching you, perhaps someone you trusted. So they could have chosen another student over you. They could have lost your trust or betrayed you in some way. So what I feel for this, for many people with this conjunction, is it's almost like you were left out of the club. You didn't get in to the coven you wanted to get into, or the mystery school or something, because the teacher was against you or hated you or didn't approve of your work, something like that, or stole your work and said it was theirs, that kind of thing. In this life, you have the ability to mentor and teach. So for you with Jupiter conjunct the North Node, mentoring and teaching could be a strong part of your purpose, but that doesn't mean it is your purpose. It just means that when you mentor, when you blend mentoring in or teaching in to whatever else you're doing, then you are likely to, that energy is going to help guide you toward fulfilling your purpose, which is the sign that your North Node is in. So now moving on to Saturn. If you have Saturn conjunct your North Node in a past life, you are either opposed by your father, a strict father, or you could have been opposed by actually just really bad conditions in life. So this is really similar to the South Node with conjunct Saturn, which is basically you could have been in poverty, or you could have been lived through a war, or something else very, very hopeless. And because Saturn really does kind of restrict, okay? Restricts, it restrains. So I think of prison sentences. I think of war conditions that are unfathomable and not fixable. So with Saturn conjunct the North Node, this isn't something you could have just gotten out of. This isn't like something you could have tried to escape. It's conditions that are so bad, you know, extreme poverty, or, you know, a world war, something that no one gets out of. If you have Saturn conjunct your North Node in this life, you're here to embody the energy of discipline and self-sacrifice in order to reach goals. You are here to achieve things, and by embodying this energy of responsibility, of sacrificing for your long-term goals, of really trying to get up to the top of the mountain, whatever the mountain is for you, and possibly even mentoring other people, or not even mentoring, but like providing structures for them, you know, like creating businesses and having people work under you for those businesses, that kind of stuff. That's all Saturn type things. So the more you embody those energies, the more you focus on that kind of activity, the more likely you are to move toward that North Node purpose, which is whatever the sign your North Node is in. Okay, if you have Uranus conjunct your North Node, you had a very interesting encounter in a past life. This could have been an alien encounter. It could have been something else very, very shocking and sudden. Like you literally could have been struck by lightning. You could have experienced a very sudden event in your life, or a world event that killed you or changed things majorly, like a total power outage, or like when the dinosaurs went extinct, or just some other huge crazy event. I know people don't think people lived back then, but I think that's debatable. Anyway, when we talk about past lives, we kind of set aside the confines of reality, because none of us really know, you know, how far those past lives go. So back to Uranus, you could have been attacked by an outlaw. That's probably the most conventional possible explanation for Uranus conjunct the North Node, because Uranus is unconventional. So something weird happened. You could have been attacked by a mob that was like on the fringe of society. I think of like Mad Max, or like, you know, living through a time where there's outlaws, like a group of them, or any kind of sudden shocking event that just totally destroyed you or leveled you. In this life, you are here to be a rebel, or be a revolutionary, or you know, embody Uranian energy, which means be different, be weird, be unconventional, be on the leading edge. And this can be either the leading edge of science and technology, or it can be something a little out there like astrology, or it could also be the leading edge of like just fringe society, things that are not mainstream. So for you, doing things that are not mainstream, doing things that are a little bit different, things that if you know, went to a conference and told people this is what I do for a living, they would be like, what? You know, anything that falls under that category, doing that can move you toward that North Node purpose. And the North Node purpose being whatever sign your North Node is in. So the next planet is Neptune. If you have Neptune opposite, or if you have Neptune conjunct your North Node, then in a past life you were opposed by maybe a spiritual person, perhaps a drunken person, or you may have had someone in your life or in your family who had a very, very bad addiction, and that caused great pain and great trauma and great problems in your life. So if it was the addicted person, it would probably be someone close to you, like you had an addicted spouse or parent, and you kind of spent your whole life taking care of them or dealing with their messes, cleaning up their messes. For other people, you could have actually fallen into a cult and been victimized in some way by a cult leader. One way is through their, you know, brainwashing, you know, their mind games. You could have had someone else been the victim of any kind of psychological manipulation. So even something like being a spy, where they get into your head and they tell you all these evil things about the other side that aren't true. And then, you believe the lies. Anything where you believed someone else's lies, that's all a possibility with Neptune conjunct the North Node. And in this life, you are here to bring magic in the world. So Neptune is very inspiring. So to have it conjunct your North Node, it means for you moving toward the energy, embodying the energy of inspiration, imagination, spirituality, and escapism in the most positive way is all right for you. So this can be storytelling or magic or things that are a little bit not unconventional, but just like magical or mystical, or sometimes strange, but strange in a kind of eclectic way, strange like someone who sings music on the street and is just kind of magical and different and in their own little world. So anything like that you can embody into your purpose. Really, things that are creative fall under Neptune. So you may find that when embodying your creativity, you move toward your purpose, or by opening up to just the belief that we're all connected, and really that crown chakra of we are all one, that is Neptune energy. Neptune energy doesn't have boundaries. So if you have your North Node conjunct this planet, for you embodying boundarylessness in some way, shape, or form, whether that be through merging with the divine or merging with others, and in something like energy work, for example, where anything that's positive, where you don't know where you end and the other person begins, that is a positive energy for someone with this conjunction to embody in their life to move toward their purpose. So let's move on to the next planet, which is Pluto. If you have Pluto conjunct your North Node, in a past life you were opposed by pure evil, okay? Pluto being opposed to you. Pluto is the devil in astrology, right? It's Hades. Pluto rules the underworld, and the underworld is, on one hand, yes, it's a metaphor for our subconscious mind, but on the other hand, it's also hell. Okay, so you were put in hell. You could have been cursed in a past life. You could have been abused in a past life, or not just abused, but like made to abuse other people in a past life. You could have joined a gang or joined the mafia, or done black magic or had black magic done on you. Like just been thrown into a pit of snakes. The worst of the worst, things like poison, things like intense seduction, things like murder, things like all kinds of abuse fall under this category. This conjunction does not necessarily mean you've gone through any of this in this life. So just remember, we're talking about your past life here for this particular video. If you have Pluto conjunct the North Node in this life, you can focus on things like psychology, like understanding the depths of the human psyche, like digging things up, investigating, researching, doing things that are Pluto-like. So that means researching, understanding the motives of other people, anything where you're answering the question why, getting to the bottom of things. And for some people, sometimes this actually translates into the literally digging, like literally digging things up, working with things that are underground. But mostly it's getting to the bottom of things, investigating, getting to the root cause. These are all energies that someone with this conjunction can embody that will help them unlock their purpose, their North Node purpose, which is whatever sign your North Node is in. So the last one is Chiron. If you have Chiron conjunct your North Node in a past life, whatever wounded you, whatever wound you experienced took over. So you could have just been taken over by a heartbreak or any kind of wound, right? Any kind of abuse, any kind of emotional problem, like you just could not get over it. And so in this life, you are here to heal. I mean, really, Chiron is the wounded healer. To have it conjunct your North Node means that healing is infused into what you do. This does not mean you have to go be an energy worker, right? Because healing can happen in any profession, in any way. So you could be someone who is in a real estate, and you just have this energy about you that, you know, helps people feel more whole and complete, right? So having healing be a part of your purpose, sometimes it does mean that you're going to have a field that you focus on that's like psychology or counseling or, you know, spiritual work or, you know, other kinds of body work that help people heal. You don't always have to be a healer to heal. You can heal anywhere. So with Chiron here, it's almost more important for you to understand your Chiron wound, how it's affected you, and to overcome it. Because when we overcome our Chiron wound, we have immense power from that one point in our chart alone. So that's all I'm going to say about Chiron. And thank you so much, you guys, for all the comments you're making on all the videos. Let me know in a comment below if this video resonates with you. I love hearing from you guys. And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you get more notifications. I'm coming out with more videos. One will be the North Node through the houses. We're going to do the rising signs. So thank you for all the comments, likes, and shares. And I will see you guys in the next video.